You want to hurt me? Well, go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. So think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get. Did I do it? It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles movie review. Hey everybody, I'm John Wayne at the First Thanksgiving, Pilgrim. Happy Thanksgiving, Pilgrim. No, I'm just kidding. It's Drewski McGillicuddy, and it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today, I figure since it's such a special occasion, I put down the Red Dead Redemption 2. Actually, that's not true. I made a makeshift table when I ate my Thanksgiving dinner. While playing a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2, while I was getting prepped to watch this movie, which is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles from 1987. Now, you remember, I told you that most of the greatest movies of all time came out in 1987. Here's more proof of that. Even though it's weird, I never liked this movie growing up. I never watched the whole thing. I would see it on TV, and just some of the things that happened, like with John Candy's character, would just drive me crazy. So I refused to watch it, like from beginning to end, for the longest time. And then somebody made me sit down one holiday season and watch it. And ever since then, it's been an annual watch in my home. Now, if you've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, oh my God, where have you been? This is directed by John Hughes, one of the greatest directors of all time. There's only one John Hughes movie that I don't necessarily like, and I'm not gonna get into that because I don't need you people, because it's gonna upset a lot of people when they find out which John Hughes. I mean, if you want to guess in the comments section down below, go right ahead. What John Hughes movie do you think that I can't stand? Anyway, what are we talking about? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I mean, this is basically if Murphy's Law was a movie. Because if things can get worse, they most definitely will. Steve Martin plays Neil something or other, and he's trying to get home in time for Thanksgiving, but he's got a business meeting that's running just a little too long, and he has to rush to the airport. And it's like literally everything in this movie, it gets progressively gets worse for our main character Neil. He tries to hail a cab, and then him and Kevin Bacon, that's right, Kevin Bacon is in this movie. They race for the cab, and finds this other guy, and he offers him $10 for his cab, because the guy, he says, you know, he tries to give him a sob story, and the guy says he has no heart or something like that. And he offers him $10, and he works it all the way up to 50, and he's like, okay, I'll give you 50. And he's like, anybody that would pay 50 for a cab would pay 75 for a cab. So as they're negotiating, John Candy steals the cab, which was his name, Dell? Dell. Yeah, so Dell steals the cab. So he basically paid this guy $75 for somebody to come steal his cab. And that's just the beginning of the movie. We still got like another hour and a half of terrible, terrible things happening. And it just, like I said, when I was a kid, it drove me crazy. But now that I'm an adult, it makes me laugh. I love it. As they go get on the plane, and then his first class ticket is knocked down to a business class because they're overbooked, even though he booked his ticket like a month in advance, which, you know, that's bullshit. That would piss me off. I'd be pissed off. I'd be ranting and raving. And then he gets stuck sitting next to this old man and Dell, who's John Candy, who does his best impression of my father throughout this entire movie. Okay? If y'all ever wanted to know what my father was like, watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because my dad personifies John Candy in this movie. It's ridiculous. Like, he looks like him, he acts like him, he sounds like him, just everything about it. But anyway, so they're sitting there on the plane, and Dell decides he gonna take his shoes off. It's bad enough he won't shut the fuck up, but now he's gonna take his shoes off and let them stank-ass feet out. And then, it's bad enough to take your shoes off, and he's gonna take his socks off. But, yeah, so... Oh, wait. It gets worse. The plane has to land in St. Louis because the weather's terrible. So now, they're even farther away. Well, no, I don't know. I just have to get a map and look. Is St. Louis farther away from Chicago than New York is from Chicago? Because it's like, why would you fly all the way out of the way?
They were trying to fly under the storm, probably.
Well, I mean, the movie needed it for the plot so that we can drive this character almost to the breaking point. Which is funny because this movie contains a driving scene where he is driven to the breaking point. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Because first, we're on the plane! But then we're not on the plane. So then, yeah, he gets stuck with Dell. They try a bus. They try trains. I mean, just... like I said, everything that can go wrong in this movie goes wrong. Probably the most wrong that had been done in this movie is the first motel scene. You know, they're laying in bed, they're snuggling. He kisses him on the ear, and he says, "Why did you just kiss me on the ear?" And he says, "Why are you holding my hand?" And he says, "Where's your other hand?" "In between two pillows." Anyway, I just wanted to reenact that for you. I don't... See, this is the thing about movies that I absolutely love, that I've seen a million times. I don't know what to talk about. I just want to talk about how much I love this movie, and how much John Candy seriously reminds me of my father watching this movie. Because my dad was a truck driver, and I went on the road with him a lot, and when they're in the car in this movie, that's my dad playing on the piano. Only difference was he wasn't smoking a cigarette, burning the car down. Yeah, that's right. They burned the car down. Spoiler alert. Seriously, if you haven't seen this movie, there's something seriously wrong with you. Just like there was something seriously wrong with me when I refused to watch it for the longest time. But now that I have, I love it. That's why I keep trying to tell Sarah. I mean, just because you think you're not going to like a movie doesn't mean it's true. For instance, she won't watch Addams Family Values. Now, it took me like 3 months, a couple of years ago, to get her to sit down and watch The Addams Family. Because she's such a big fan of the TV show, she can't watch the movies because it seems like caricatures of themselves. No.
They try too hard.
No, they do not try too hard.
Yeah, they do.
It comes naturally.
Because
Raul
is the only one that's not trying too hard.
Whatever. If you want to see Sarah review Addams Family Values with me, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'm fucking serious. Alright? I want her to do this. I want you to want her to do this. And maybe if we get like 50 comments about how she needs to do this, maybe I can convince her to sit down and watch it. And eventually we're going to do top 5 movies that Sarah refuses to watch. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So where were we? Alright. Also want to talk about the scene where he rents the car and he goes to get the car's not there. This scene, like this movie could have been could have been PG. It could have been. It's a PG movie. Everything about it's PG. Until he goes to rent this car, and the car is not in the spot, and he has to trek 3 miles through the highway, the snow and the ice, and a runway to get all the way back just to have this bitch smile in his face. And this probably... No, it's definitely the best part of the movie. The scene is 1 minute long, and he uses the F word 18 times. It reminds me a lot of myself. Some of my videos they're like 20 minutes long, and I use the F word like 217 times. But anyway, I didn't want to ramble on too much about this movie. I just wanted to bring it up and remind you all that this is a Thanksgiving movie, and that if you haven't watched this movie on Thanksgiving, that's the perfect time to watch this movie, or leading up to Christmas. So if you haven't watched this movie yet this season, or you've never seen this movie, definitely go out there and watch it. It might not be on streaming, but, you know, rent it. It's definitely worth renting, if not going out and just buying it on Blu-ray. So yeah, there's my rating. Go out and buy it.
I thought it was going to be bonafide classic.
That's it. Nope, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's too late for that, though. It's too late for that. Yeah, I was gonna rate it bonafide classic, which it is, but you know, we'll just steal Cody Leach's. I feel like I need to just restart this whole thing one more time. Anyway, it's Thanksgiving. I gotta go be with my family. All right, so just like the video, share, subscribe. Maybe next time I'll pretend to do better. Yeah. Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Every time you go away. Sorry, everybody. I had to sing it myself because Warner took my video down, fucking bastards.